Where the hell are we?
I'm talking about chicken salad, I think.
Chicken salad.
Yeah.
Are we picking up there? You know, it's pretty sick when you can put your penis inside chicken salad. What do you think about that?
It's a very moist maneuver.
Moist maneuver. That's exactly the word I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's one word. It's not two words.
Moist
That's
maneuver.
what I know. Moist maneuver.
Oh, boy, Travis. What do we have here?
Well. It's just Tommy and Treppy.
That's right. Coming to you live. Roast Mortem Cast. This is a two-man show. Do you know why? Because I ruined the last one.
You sure did, Tom. You got to figure out what plugs go in what holes.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the worst audio engineer. Firstly, everyone, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
If you don't know the show, there's usually more happening, and that's okay because we're going to make a lot happen any second now. But elephants in rooms. Cody is no longer joining us on the show. I want to thank him for his time. But moving forward, Mike will be on the show regularly. But this is a yeah. Okay, here's a problem.
Regularly.
Mike's doing his best to get here. As I mentioned before, we're actually recording an episode again because I fucked it up. If you didn't catch that. And Travis is the only man I can trust in this world, even more so than myself.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, last episode when you recorded, we were all like, penis buzz.
Yeah. I could talk about it. I don't think anyone wants to hear it, though.
No, but they do want to know how's your week, because last week I had the luxury of just doing the show myself in the beginning. And, people were like, you should do a spin-off series, Travis. I'm like, oh, maybe just asking people how their week was, like you, Tom.
Well, that's a great question. I'll just talk about the last 48 hours very quickly. If you go into a certain area of Pennsylvania, you'll be surrounded by Russian bears. That's where I went with several people, close friends, to go explore this area of Lackawaxen.
It's the most lactating area of Pennsylvania.
It's truly annoying to drive around because everything is 4 hours away.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but once you're somewhere and you're having drinks and you're throwing rocks and rafting, then it's all good. So that's what we did. We were up there. We did our manly activities such as bird watching, and we went down the Delaware River with a bottle filled with tequila, and by the end of it, it was pretty much empty.
Tom, I got to ask you, one time when we were up there and we were in a body of water, you were playing with a dead fish. Did that happen this time?
I forgot about that. I don't know. I think someone found a deer femur on the trip. So there was like a floating bone. It could be human. Probably not.
Human.
All I'm saying is that today we were supposed to do this episode hours ago even. So I'm just caking on how bad I've been performing. You understand? This disappointment that is myself. We were supposed to record like 4 hours ago, but I got stuck in traffic and then got stuck in a hospital for a while. But everyone's fine. And that's all you need to know. Yeah, that's it. We're just summarizing it. And we missed Perkins again. Travis, how was your week?
Oh, man, I miss Perkins. That's the only place where you could really get diarrhea. My week. Let's see. I have been so swamped. I do have to. Okay, so I'm going to put this at the beginning of the episode, because I know everyone won't listen to the end of the episode. But I've been doing a lot of research on an upcoming roast. And I want to know if anyone has a UFO story. Have you ever seen an alien? Have you ever seen the lights in the sky, the Mothman? I want to know about it, because this is a legitimate show. It's reporting on dead things.
Are we turning into that show now? We've talked about this.
I think we are. I think we're turning over a new leaf, dog. We're getting the real truth.
Damn.
So, wait, Tom, what is the number they can call for, do you have that? The number they can call if to leave us an actual voicemail. And you'll be on the show, or maybe we'll do a bonus episode. If enough people call, and we'll make it available to everyone. But I want to hear.
Yeah, call the Heavy Hole line. 631-837-3274.
Yeah.
Give us a ring.
Also, do it in the first week of August. Don't do it like 3 months from now if you're listening.
Yeah, these podcast things. I said live at the beginning of the show, but believe it or not, that was a joke.
Yeah.
We're not doing this live.
Or you can still call. I still want to hear about your otherworldly experiences.
Just call and tell us how you're doing.
Yeah.
Tell us
So,
why you think
Tom.
Avenged Sevenfold is the best one.
My favorite is the singer in Avenged Sevenfold. His name is Ben Shapiro. Tom, how was the person you're going to talk about?
All right. So, as I mentioned before, Travis, you're already an expert. We're doing Harry Houdini. Take 2.
Houdinus.
Yeah, so Harry Houdini. I thought I escaped this guy already, but he's escaping me not. Showing up in my suitcase.
He's slippery. He's a slippery boy.
So,
but one of the things I want to say is this is a hero boy. We've talked about this hero boy before. He has debunked all these scam artists, paranormal, John Edward ass bitches. So what's the dirt on this boy?
There's not a lot of dirt here, but we're using this as like a jumping off point for other stories coming up. Harry Houdini pops in to a lot of stories, and it's good to know about him. As crazy as he was, he's just not that interesting. But we're going to have fun. I'm going to...
Thanks, Tom.
I'm sorry. It's been a long day. I'm doing well. So Harry Houdini was the world's premier escape artist and stunt performer in the late 1800s into the early 1900s, whose death-defying stunts captured the imaginations of hundreds of thousands of the morbidly curious. Before handcuffs would be all CG, Houdini would put his life on the line day after day to provide his loved ones. He wanted to provide for his loved ones. That was his thing. He's like, I gotta take care of them all. Okay?
He sounds like a regular old Stephen O. Back in the day, turn of the century, a Stephen O.
He's definitely a professional clown. I don't think he liked to be thought of that way, but most people kind of wanted to see him plummet or drown to death.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's not as bad as, mixing apple juice and chocolate milk in the lunchroom and daring someone to drink it, but it's a start.
That's entering my world territory.
Yeah.
I like to make concoctions and potions and figure out which ones will make me into a superhero.
Okay, let's get into this really boring guy. Okay?
All right.
Now, don't be falling asleep now. Harry Houdini was born Eric Weiss, March 24th, 1874 in Budapest to Rabbi Mayor Samuel Weiss and Cecilia Steiner. Strong names there.
Yeah, we got Steiner, Weiss, Grip.
Grip, yeah. Grip was one of them. He was one of 7 of his father's kids. The good rabbi had been married twice. Cecilia was his second wife. The first one didn't work out, I guess. Family tree is actually a little iffy here. Because allegedly... what's that, Travis?
Sorry, is that a no-no in Judaism? Can you just freely divorce people, or what?
No, I'm pretty sure it's because of death or incarceration that you can... then you can jump boat, ship, or whatever, or raft, as I would say, being a rafter now.
It's getting a little hairy here. I gotta get out.
It gets. Now, allegedly, the good rabbi, Mayor, that's also his second marriage. The first... that was her second marriage. The first being a man who was spending his life in prison for killing someone.
Okay, I could see a divorce about that.
I'd be mad. Here's another hot allegedly, though. Harry was not truly the son of Rabbi Mayer, as he looked strikingly like his older half-brother who was fathered by a psychopath.
All right.
This might explain, the future when the guy's just, shoving his head into freezers for days on end.
Well, let's just say the ICP guys have one kid. I don't know if the other Shaggy has the other one, but the one that's a furry. And so one of the ICP guys, his kid is a furry, and that's messed up. But think about how many more messed up love babies they've had.
They probably have some single-eyed children out there for sure. I mean, flounder-looking children. I'm surprised at how open-minded those clowns are. They're ready to love everything.
Well, when you ejaculate, when you have a Faygo bottle boofed into your butthole, your semen's not going to come out right.
No, dude, it's going to spray left and right, like some kind of magnet device. Now, there isn't much known about the family's terrible life in Budapest. Who knows anything about Budapest? So they leave it for a real country like America, where the streets are paved with pavement, and all these women look uncomfortable. I was going to read that perfectly, and I got a thing in my throat. You have to understand.
A little bit of some bees you sucked in while you were rafting.
Yeah, dude, so many bees on the open water.
Yeah,
international waters. The international waters of the Delaware River, where perhaps drugs were consumed.
Why do you think that fucking Washington got a picture painted when he crossed the Delaware? It's swarming with bees. So that man is a hero.
It's very true. So they leave, and the family arrives in July of 1878 and stayed in the famous Eastern European hotbed of the time, Appleton, Wisconsin.
Woo!
Now, Appleton, I've never heard of it, but apparently it was a busy place with a big old paper industry, paper mill. And that was good. They had a lot of Jews out there. And whenever there are Jews, they need a leadership. So the good rabbi goes, okay. So he gets a job. One of his Jew friends, who I might be related to, might not. I don't know.
Is it Steve Pepperman? Ha! Shit it there.
Yeah. Rabbi Meir took the family there so he could work for one of the local Jewish congregations. So there was a few years there of stability where they were hanging out. The good rabbi had a good name for himself. He's good, good, good. Everything's good. Wish I had an Oscar Mayer wiener. They're the right amount of kosher.
Are they?
I don't think so, actually.
I mean, doesn't a rabbi just have to go like, yeah, that's good meat, and then it's good?
Pretty much. You gotta do the taste test.
I want to be a rabbi blessing meat. That's my dream job.
I don't think
I don't
want
to do the Jewish thing. I just want it to be like a special type of kosher. Like Travis said, yes.
You'd be like the paralegals of rabbis. Like you don't have the right piece of paper to be speaking on behalf of a murderer or a traffic court violator, but certainly you could be dishing it out. That's good meat.
Yeah, I'm making just over minimum wage while the rabbis are buying their second boats, but I'm blessing the meat.
It's outrageous. Why am I so mad about this job that doesn't exist?
It does.
So 2 years into the congregation run, the Jews in the area, they go, you're old and stinky. Get out of here. Now, he truly was old and stinky. He was in America for 2 years, and he didn't know a lick of English. He knew a bunch of other languages. He spoke Yiddish. He spoke traditional Hebrew. He spoke German, Hungarian, Romanian, but he didn't speak English, and he couldn't be bothered to learn English. And they were like, well, our kids want to learn Judaism from people who are like entertaining, like Rob Schneider or someone like that, not one of you boring people where we have to sit there and translate.
There's a lot of entertaining comedian Jewish people out there. You got to get a good one.
Yeah, look up the, this is going to sound so terrible. Go to Wikipedia and just type in like famous Jews of Hollywood or something. There's a list there, and it's like, I didn't know Paul Rudd was Jewish. I thought he was a Yuletide guy.
Yeah, who knew?
Who knew? Learning something new every day. We all knew Seth Rogen was Jewish, okay? But we didn't know all of his friends were.
Maybe he turned them.
This gefilte fish is actually pretty good, Seth Rogen. Thanks for inviting me over. Can I have some more of that? Do you mind if you teach me some of this Torah?
Torah, whatever will be.
So young Eric, remember Harry is Eric at this point in the story. He never attended school. He was enrolled, but I think his family values were kind of like detached from education. I know the rabbi, he was a lawyer at one point in Budapest, but he was like jaded by this because his lawyerisms didn't really take him anywhere. And that's how he started. I think he started rabbiing after, which is, it's fine. I'm not judging, but what I'm saying is these kids are dumb as hell.
Yeah, you're not going to be rubbing any meat as a lawyer. I'm just saying. Or maybe you will, huh?
Yeah, so the mayor's like, no, you don't have to do that. You can just go work if you want. I mean, how old are you? You're 8 now? You can work. You can start working. So Eric and his siblings worked odd jobs in Appleton. While his father, he kind of like half-assed around. I think he whittled soap or something, or cut tie fabric and like look at buttons, like old-timey jobs. Yeah. The things that drove the economy back then.
I'm a buttonman smith. I check out I put the holes in every button. No one pays me to.
I can write it off, but I'm not making much.
I feel like those jobs still do exist. It's just trust fund people in major cities like Brooklyn.
Right. Eric's like this kid who's He's bopping around, and the first place he gets a job where he stays around for a while is a locksmith. Okay?
I always wanted to be either a locksmith or a weatherman, but continue.
So he's in this gun shop / locksmith shop, all right? He always enjoyed picking a good lock. That was kind of his thing. After he'd been picking locks for a while for funsies, he went around one night and unlocked every store in Appleton just to see if he could. He did it.
For the lulz?
Yeah, for the lulz.
So he's basically like anonymous hackers.
Yeah.
Don't they do that? They break into like Macy's fucking thing and like leave a dick pic, and then they're like, "I broke in."
Is that what? Is that what hackers do? They mail themselves coupons?
Yeah, I think so. They just mail each other Pathmark coupons.
That's fine. I mean, Pathmark's pretty reasonably priced as it is.
Yeah, great supermarket.
So he's picking the locks, right? Bam, bam, bam. Sometime in the mid-1880s, the rabbi brings his family to Milwaukee for work, but he doesn't land anything because nobody wants these old-timey yids walking around Milwaukee all willy-nilly. So they're hanging out poor, and Eric's like, that job I had with old Hanauer, that was the guy's name who had the locksmith. That Hanauer guy, I want to go back to him. So they're like, go. One less mouth to feed. Go. You're 11. You're an adult almost.
You're a man.
Yeah. So he goes back to Appleton, and then this weird event took place, okay? Story time. One day, young Eric is at the shop, and the sheriff comes in. The sheriff of Appleton comes in, and he's got with him this giant bearded man who looks very scary, perhaps wrestling-ish. Is that a term that people use? Let's pretend, like, for fun.
Like he's like Bray Wyatt, or what's that guy? Big man.
No, let's go back more. Let's do, pretend he's dirty Jewish Macho Man Randy Savage, who might be Jewish, actually.
Did he have a beard?
Well, he had a beard, and he talked like this.
Oh, yeah.
And he breathed really heavy. So imagine that. All right, so I don't know Macho Man's rape history, but imagine this guy has rape history. So Eric's like, I'm very uncomfortable around this man.
Macho did slam into many Slim Jims.
A lot of Miss Elizabeth. We know that, but that was consensual.
Yeah.
So we got this big macho man. He's in there, and he's breathing at Eric. And the sheriff goes, look, this guy, judge just let him off. He's not guilty. The thing I brought him in for, not even guilty of it. And Hanauer goes, all right, what are you doing with him here? Well, I lost the keys. I'm like, great. Yeah. Now we have this fucking maniac tied up like a filthy animal in my store. So Hanauer does what any good boss does. He goes, hey, sheriff, you want to go get a beer and let my apprentice take care of this not old, but rather large, aggressive man?
When you have a man that was falsely accused of rape and leaving around children, they didn't do it. They didn't do it.
He didn't do it. It's fine. So anyway, this guy's sweating. The two of them, they go off to Applebee's. They get their twofers. They're off for about a half hour, 45 minutes. Little Eric, he's like a baby boy, okay? He's told to hacksaw these handcuffs up.
Yeah.
But the guy's like looking at him like, you're going to hurt me, and that's going to hurt you a lot more. You understand? Yeah. So Eric's like, yeah, I understand. Oh, so he takes his little lockpick device that he made, and it was like too big, and he goes, a piano wire. I'll just make a new one with piano wire. So he runs to the back, and the guy's just like standing there sweaty, who knows why. And then little Eric comes back, and he starts fucking around with his little contraption he made out of piano wire. And bam, a minute round of jiggling, handcuffs off.
But Tom,
and the guy's like, and then he gets the other cuff in like 30 seconds.
Tom, I mean, locks back then had to be way simpler than nowadays, right?
To be fair, it's like an advanced maneuver. It's like a kickflip. Like, it's not now where you need a nest and you need a good friend to let you in their home. You can't just break the window like all 1870. You gotta... And Hanauer himself, he comes back. He and the sheriff come back from their twofers and go, oh, damn, you actually did it. That's some good work, Eric. I think they wanted to just let the guy sweat there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and, we'll see.
I mean, this is America, but do you think that they threw him a tuppence for his good work? Here's a tuppence.
They may have, Eric. And he's going to go, what am I going to do with this? No one else takes tuppence around here. and then, that's not true. Go over to Tuppence Hut.
Yeah.
We got porridge.
Hut, right next to right next to the sunglass hut.
Back then, it was just a piece of wood that you put over your eyes. They hadn't figured out that perfect glass ratio. That's totally worth every $240.
That's actually how Home Depot started. It was right next to the Orange Julius. They give you the wood glasses. So just a 2x4 you put over your face.
Right. They expanded by opening up with nails. One day they had nails, and then it really took off. So the good rabbi, he's like, his son is over there, and he's being taken care of in Appleton. And he goes, I'm out of here. I'm going to New York, where we're supposed to be. Goodbye. So the rabbi zips over to New York, and he leaves his bruised-up wife and mostly injured and sick children in Milwaukee to live in abject poverty.
That's good. These are good choices.
They teach lessons. Eric's interest in showmanship and circus-related shit started surfacing around this time, too. You see, he went to one of these traveling circuses, and he didn't care much for the clowns and the dumb shit like popcorn. He just liked those trapeze guys. He was like, what are they doing up there?
Tom, but come on, though. Not everything else besides the trapeze is dumb. You've got the sea lion tamers.
Are they
bring
dumb?
The sea lions out, and they're like, get on that fucking platform, you dumb ocean dog. And it does it. And you got the guys that make balloon animals. If you want a sea lion out of air.
Well, I think those are clowns. I kind of mentioned them. Because they're,
no. I mean, they're just regular, standard, the 3-piece suit men that make balloons for you.
That's terribly frightening. Have you seen one of those in real life? Is that something that's just like, hello, son, I've got something long for you? Oh, is that a rubber balloon that's rather long? Here's a snake.
I'm just imagining the scene from American Psycho, but instead of him turning around with an axe and hacking the guy up, he just gives him a little balloon dog. All right, here you go, man.
Oh, it's chilling. Absolutely chilling. Eric's interest in showmanship, right, I read that bit. His mother made him some red pants and he started his own little trapeze act in the family yard. He went by Eric, the Prince of the Air. Now, his first thing he did was a tightrope act, and he tied a rope between two trees, and apparently his first attempt, I can only imagine this. It doesn't matter who it is. His first attempt was bad, and he just kind of doubled down there and laid on the grass for a long time. But then he got up. He's a kid. He did it again. Imagine, you know what it's like to get the wind knocked out of you, right? Do you remember when you used to play and have fun and every now and then you get the wind knocked out of you?
Dude, I feel like all the times, that happened to me a lot. And I feel like all the times that, like if I was to have the wind knocked out of me now, I would also have like broken vertebrae.
I'm actually worried about that. Yeah. That's why I don't try this trapeze garbage.
Yeah, you're not going to see me on them monkey bars. You're going to see them in the bar.
Yeah. But Eric, he's talented and he got it soon. He's not like us. He also tried to suspend himself by hanging on a rope by his teeth because that was a trapeze act too. But he didn't realize that the pros use mouth guards.
Oh,
luckily, he did this young enough where he just lost most of his front teeth. But he was like, we are going back a little bit. He's about 7 at this time.
Oh, so he still got baby teeth?
He's got bay teeth, and he lost them all. It was Easter quick, if you know what I mean. Just like a lot of teeth eggs on the ground.
Here comes Elijah, the Jewish tooth fairy, to give you money.
What did he give you? Counterfeit bills.
Israeli war bonds.
Yeah, he left us guilt. Are you trying to get more teeth for terrible chocolate?
You can invest in a career in dentistry. Put it into the stock market.
Now, he was always interested in the athletic side of it. And so he's got this thing where he loves the lock picking and he likes to take care of himself. And from what I gather, he never drank or smoked. So he was obviously a fantastic pussy. So if we want to start making fun of him, we can get into it.
Fucking lame.
When he was a pre-cum teen, he made plans to take a train to Texas to make it as a trapezist. He left a note for his dear mother, Cecilia. He said, see you in a year. Bye. So he boarded the wrong train and ended up going to Kansas City, where people are sad. Now, he committed to the bit, and he was there for a year. kind of moping around. And I think for some of the summer he was first there, a strange couple took him in, and he just lived on their couch for a while. So that's pretty young to be optionally homeless, especially if you don't like you do like your parents. Like he liked his mom a lot. It's weird.
I feel like, I'm not saying that he's rich, but I feel like a lot of rich kids nowadays do that.
Yeah. Well, you have to be rich if you're going to be homeless these days, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you had to have your iPhone. We had an acquaintance, I'd say, that lives around the corner from you, Tom, that went on his Jack Kerouac experience, even though his family was fairly well off and walked around Huntington homeless.
You know, he was always off, but now I think he went out. He went down too many rafts on the old river there. So he's pretty much dead from the neck up now. And good for him. I'm sure he's happier than I am. Although I did see him hugging a hydrant and crying. So maybe he's just another case of funny old mental illness.
Oh, yeah, or maybe he just found love. Everyone needs love, dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even if it's a fire hydrant.
Yeah, even if the state paid for it.
They don't.
Yeah. Right. So then he's off to New York because he's like, hey, I'm poor. My dad's poor. We should meet up. Let's shine shoes together. Let's sell papers. Standard poor kid stuff of the late 1890s. He and his father, they stayed in a room in a boarding house in East 97th Street, or excuse me, 79th Street. And they lived their fullest life. I don't know what that means. I'm pretty sure they didn't even have a bathroom, but who did back then?
Yeah. Wait, so if you were going to be in the circus and you were going to do shows for the masses, wouldn't I feel like New York with vaudeville or circus arts, it is an art, that you'd have to be in New York, right? Because you got P.T. Barnum and Bailey, you got Coney Island with Freaks and Geeks.
Coney Island's big. That's a big spot. Yeah, no, it helps to be in, like, I don't understand. I don't know if anyone caught this, but, like, my surprise that the family would move to Appleton, Wisconsin, as opposed to where all the other ones were.
Yeah, Bushwick, or whatever.
They were, at the time, it was Williamsburg. Up until, it was a lot of Jews there, and that's fine. You know, they had their little spot, but now they're all over that area, and that's great. You know, not regarding driving, but it's great.
Yeah, but he wants to pursue a career in the circus arts. So, like, instead of moving to Kansas City, just go to fucking New York.
Yeah, he should have done that. But, you know, I've done just as dumb things here. So let's not come down on this 13-year-old just yet. Okay?
Maybe he was just a big Kansas City Royals fan.
What is that? What do they play? Bocce?
Baseball. They free base balls.
Tight. I legit didn't know that, by the way. I'm sad when it comes to sports.
I was a catcher and a pitcher. So I knew about base and I knew about balls.
Did you have to did you have to go around your balls to fuck yourself in the ass, or were you able to go over?
Well, that's what the cup is for. It forces your shaft to go around the back.
Okay. That's cool.
And it's sliding. They use the sliding maneuver to ejaculate.
You know what? More power to you, baseball players.
Yeah, me and Derek Jeter are going to be sliding and masturbating.
All right. So they're in New York and they're being poor, as you do. And he starts seeing his dad a little bit as a failure, I guess. Like, he's not abandoning him. He still likes him, but he's like, I gotta really up the games here. So dad was, like I said, old scholar, never provided well. Eric, he was a nice kid, so he goes out and he helps more. He starts, on top of doing more work, he's like, I think I could do something with my physical talents. Maybe in the trapeze stuff that I was so into just a year ago. So he gets into that stuff and he starts, he's like, where am I going to be a freak? You mentioned it before, Travis, Coney Island. You want to be a freak? You go there.
Sucking down dogs like Joey Chestnut, king of the world, baby.
Is Joey Chestnut the fat one or the Chinese one?
No, if you are a competitive eater, most of them are skinny. I did a little mini spot on the top woman female eater. Her name is Mickey Sudo, and she's smoking.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I wonder what.
But no, Joey Chestnut's this white guy that's like balding. He's thin. He's tall, very lean, and he just fucking sucks dogs, dude.
Does he look like he works at the post office?
More like Geek Squad.
Oh, well, God bless him.
Doing the Lord's work at Geek Squad. They just saved one of my hard drives, so.
Did they?
Yes.
He began boxing, swimming in the East River, and running marathons as a form of training. So that was his commitment level. It wasn't doing like training to run marathons. He was running the marathons to just train, to become an animal of a man.
Hell yeah. Wait, did you say swimming? Was he swimming in like the East River?
Yes, yeah. He was swimming in the East River.
Is disgusting. It's dirty now. No, Tom. It's dirty now. It was probably 10 times as dirty back then when people were just like, oh, my baby died at birth. Let me just throw it in the East River.
Right. Well, I suppose it depends where your mind is with what dirty is. Because some people go, ew, a little bit of oil on top from a motor. And they go, I'd much rather swim in fecal matter because it's from a human body. It's natural.
Tom, I'd much rather be oiled my entire body every inch.
Well, I was speaking for someone else. I too would like to be oiled. Come on, you know me better.
I know, man.
Oh, he's a showman, though. The first known photo of him is, we already looked at this, Travis, last week, which is him in a tank top that's kind of well-fitting, or I don't know, it's baggy. He's wearing running shoes, which were apparently just penny loafers back at this time period. That's cool. Some kind of gym short.
Yeah, there was no Nikes or Adidas.
Right. And then he's wearing all these like medals. It's like 6 or 7 awards, accolades for his physical achievements. But most of them are fake. In fact, one of them is real. The rest of them are fake. Trying to up that showmanship. Hey, he's like, I'm going to get my first picture taken ever. I'm going to do it right.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the modern day like rapper mentality, right? You just want to get as many chains on you as possible.
Right. Harry and his brother Theodore, who later went by Dash, they began studying magic and making their frequent trips to Coney Island and creating their own little routine. Ooh. Eric chose the professional name of Harry Houdini in honor of his favorite illusionist, Jean-Eugène Robert Houdin. One of his buddies who was helping him with his magic was like, hey, like that Houdin part, if you put an I at the end of it, in French, that means just kind of like it. And he was like, that's pretty cool. I'll be Houdini. Right. That's not true at all. This stage name is made on lies.
I don't know, Tom, because I have a stage name when I do my magic. It's Travis Jimmy Dean, because I want to sound very put together and mystical, like a Jimmy Dean sausage.
Right. That's good. Nice casing you have there.
Yeah. There's no animal on that casing. That's all plastic.
Yeah. Hold my casing. 1891. Theodore, a.k.a. Dash, and Harry booked themselves as the Brothers Houdini, the modern monarchs of mystery.
Okay. So what you're talking about, you're not talking about real magic, right? You've got like real magicians like Chris Angel. They are real magicians. They do magic.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got men like David Blaine who do little street tricks. So Houdini's doing little street tricks.
Yeah, he's more of a David Blaine guy. He just doesn't have the flair. He's very professional. You know how like David Blaine looks dead all the time? Houdini kind of had that going too. We'll get into that later because he was upsetting to be around.
Right. There,
aesthetically.
There was no Las Vegas at the time. It wasn't even built. So how could he reach the status of magic like Christopher Angel?
The bar's pretty high. Let's put it that way. Chris Angel, it's up there.
Yeah, it is. He'll get your Jankos in a twist, dog.
Harry, he did most of the work. He was the real star, okay? Dash was kind of like working his way up, and he was getting in the way a bunch. But anyway, they start working those sideshow, the dime museums as a card trick musician, and eventually he would step in as the freak show wild man. So he just like get in blackface and just start jumping around. They'd be like, what the hell? Because he was really strong and ripped. People were like, he's so small and forceful.
Tom, I knew we were going to Coney Island. We're going into magic. I knew the old-timey racism was going to pop in there. He straight up Justin Trudeau'd and jumped around like a madman?
Yeah, see, the thing is that when Justin Trudeau did it, it was funny. Houdini did it out of mystery.
Oh, okay, I see.
They were like, what is that thing?
Yeah, Trudeau having a good time at a party. Houdini's like, you can't see me.
That's what we start doing. Like, and by start doing, I mean imagining to do. Just going to like costume parties, hoping that one day we can do blackface, but only as Houdini.
Yeah.
Like, remove ourselves. Like, I'm Houdini. It's fine. I'm not.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You know, it's not racist. I'm making fun of a Jew. It's fine. It's anyway.
I always wanted to. Well, no, I don't want to say I always wanted to, but I thought it would be interesting to portray one of my favorite characters on Dragon Ball Z, Mr. Popo. But I thought against doing that for a Halloween costume.
You know, some people might say you thought right.
Yeah, I would agree. Not Justin Trudeau.
No.
I know that's old news now, but I feel like in today's day and age, we forget so quickly. And it's funny.
It is really funny. I mean,
he's the prime minister.
Those photos are hysterical. Like the smile is just like, do you have no shame?
Yeah.
Are you just going to lock down your country forever? Are we going to get boxed out of this maple syrup game?
I hear Sudan is really making advances in their maple business. They might beat out.
Maybe we'll go stop some atrocities over there if they can get their maple shit together.
Yeah.
Now, in 1892, the good rabbi dies of cancer, putting a lot of pressure on Harry to take care of all the people. All the people. Now, it's a lot of kids and stuff, and some of them are working, but really, Mom, Cecilia, so close to the heart. From the moment Mayer dies, Harry's like, my mother is irreplaceable, which is true. Everyone's got one, you know, some are better than others.
Some people have two.
Yeah, some people have two moms, and people with three moms, where's my invite?
Also, that's a lot of cookies. It's too many cookies for one person.
Yeah, it's a lot. Anyway, Mom's like, thanks, son, I'm glad you're here. And Harry's like, Dad said that you're nice, so I'm going to take care of you. No, it's not true. He really loved his mother quite a bit. She was a huge influence in his life, and they always lived together. The brothers Houdini duo, as I mentioned, didn't go very far. See Theo Dash. He was not very good, and I think he actually got locked in a box once. And Harry was like, yeah, he's going to get out of the box any second now. And then he just hears out like, help.
Oh,
help
no. Wait, let me guess. Let me guess. Did he become Dash the accountant?
No, he actually continued being his own magician.
Oh.
After this. But they kind of separated. And didn't hurt too much because you got this little piece of ass walking in here called Wilhelma Beatrice, a.k.a. Bess Rayner. Okay, so Bess is now in Houdini's eyeballs, if you know what I mean. Now, she is a great dancer, performer, short 4'11", which was good to be next to our little 5'5" Harry Houdini. Made him look bigger on stage.
Oh, got two little munchkins, two little baby miniature people.
That's right. Now, I think her family had a little bit of money, so that was good, I guess. And they were a little... I don't think the family was, they cared that much. They were already disgraced by the fact that she wanted to dance for a living. Because back then it was just like, you're a woman. You're not supposed to have a living.
Yeah.
It's egregious stepping into our world of entertainment.
Not even that. It's just like, you're not supposed to have a living. And what are you, dancing? Dancing is enjoyment. Right. You're a woman. If you act hysterical one more time, I'm going to get the man who has the vibrator and he's going to vibrate you in the other room. Because you're acting hysterical.
God, I'd love to be a woman just like for a day. Just to know how much easier it is, for sure. Because that's my gut feeling. I could be wrong.
Yeah. You know that's real, though, right, Tom?
No, I do. Yeah. They used to they used to take a little spoon and play it like a blast beat on there, right? They'd be like, you're fucking talking up too much. She's just like, I'm upset. I'm just thirsty, and my child died, and I'm upset. They're like,
don't worry about it. You're gonna come.
Let's get you in the room, and I'll get my doctor in here, and my doctor's friend Henry, and they'll smack your clitoris until you're sane again, woman. It's a weird time. I don't know. Yeah. I truly don't know what to make of it. I have a feeling that some women liked it. That's all. Not all.
Not all, but maybe some.
Yeah, some were just like, oh, wait, you mean if I start kicking and screaming, you guys are going to pleasure me to death? That's pretty good.
Not bad. I'm going to throw my turkey at the wall that I'm eating. I wish that worked on me. I just want to be eating a fucking sandwich and just spike it against the wall and get jerked off.
Yeah, but if you were in like 1890s New York and you did that, you would just get slapped and homeless. And for some reason, even though the day and age where no communication was allowed to happen, your landlord would know about it and you'd be on the fucking street.
Tom, this is the gender equality right here.
Right. Well, think about it, ladies. Right? From the men of the past, you're welcome. So around this time, he moves in with Bess, his lovely little piece of ass. And the two, they actually move into Cecilia's apartment. Excuse me. So they move in together into Cecilia's apartment. I guess they were living down the block for a little while.
That's his
From
mom?
here on out, yeah, Cecilia is the mom. Cecilia and Bess were the two women in his life, the only ones that mattered. Although at one point he did cheat on Bess, but like he came clean immediately, and that struck me as odd because he's the world's best escape artist.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, like if you feel guilty about it, then don't do it, but don't get caught.
Maybe he was so good and so slippery escape artist, they just slipped right into her vagina. And like, she's like, oh, I'm so sorry.
I was just escaping. Yes, it's not what it looks like.
It's not what it looks like. My erected penis slipped right in.
We're going to make Houdini, like most of our other people, sound like he's from Scotland Yard instead of like Eastern European Jew. It's me, Houdini. I'm the best one. Houdini begins buying acts, okay? So back then, like, magicians would sell their acts if they were retiring or broke to other magicians. Right. So Houdini buys a few and he's using them as a revenue stream. He's performing these acts that are kind of like half well known. One of these was his handcuff act, his escaping act. OK, before there were bits where it was like, oh, yeah, he used to. The generic handcuff thing was technically an escape, but it was kind of like just hit it the right way over your knee or something.
Right.
It wasn't like, let's put a bunch of them on you, and they're going to be all different types of them, and it's not going to be so easy this time, kiddo.
Well, first the constable will secure the handcuffs. Then you must boondoggle it over your knee.
Right, and like I mentioned before, like the handcuffs that you see today on TV, they're all CGI. Back then, these were real handcuffs.
Well, I'm just saying, I want to see Houdini get resurrected, and some fucker's like, you ever hear zip ties, asshole?
He could probably get out. I mean, we'll get into this. He was good. He was definitely good. Now, people were really into it. It was a crowd pleaser. Crowd pleaser. That shouldn't be a tongue twister, but it is because I have a fat tongue. He'd do this bit where he would go to police stations and be like, yo, let's do this. And they'd be like, with our handcuffs, real handcuffs? We're Coney Island police officers. You're going to come here with that act, Houdini, and expect us to not laugh you out of the streets and into your mother's lap? Well, he did it, okay? He'd be like, look, man, strip search me.
Wait, so that means
I'll do this naked.
That means that the cops were laughed into the streets and into his mother, Cecilia's lap?
No, everyone's from Scotland Yard today.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure that the cops are in Cecilia's lap, eating Coney Island dogs.
Dude, the mustard on the stick. That was the best part. See, they put out the stick with mustard. They had to stop doing that because people would lick the stick.
Like anteaters.
Yeah. See these Long Island tongues just coming out of people's heads too fast.
Yeah.
Right, so we get the police to strip search him, authenticate his abilities. Houdini did spend a lot of time on stage nearly naked for this. A lot of time he was up there, he was like, you check me out. I don't have anything. I just have underwear. And I got a little penis, and there's nothing hiding behind it.
Wait,
and they'd be like, well, it's pretty small.
Have you seen the picture of his ding-a-ling-dong-dong-dong?
No, we just have to assume so, because, like, you look into these pictures, and, like, you want to undersell how big something is. So you can go, like, there's definitely no key hiding behind this really small penis. I mean, if it was a big penis, then I'd be able to hide a key, but...
Little do they know, I have slipped the key into the tip of my penis. I have sounded it.
Travis, the sound escaper.
You'll be amazed at how quickly he can sound his way out of any situation. Safe and sound at home, they call him.
I'll just be like, excuse me, miss, pick a number from 1 to 10. And my penis go like, and I'll cough out their number.
Right, their number, their phone number.
Their phone number.
You want to put that back in? Are you embarrassed? Right. So, like I said, he's doing the police and he's getting the local. He's doing it like he goes from just the handcuffs and now he's going to the precinct and he's going, hey, why don't you guys lock me up? And this is a publicity stunt, by the way. This is not like this is planned. Houdini is very smart with how he gets involved with the police, right? And some of them liked it. Some of them were a little embarrassed, but he would go to precincts and go, I'm bringing like 100 people to stand outside the precinct right now. I need you to take me in there. Throw me in this jail all naked, and I'll be out in like 10 minutes. And all the policemen would go, ha, 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 that's ridiculous. And then he would do it.
It's kind of like what Mos Def when he got waterboarded and force-fed.
You know, poor Mos Def. How dare he do that to himself?
Well, you know, he's trying to be like Houdini.
Houdini also appeared in a bunch of shitty plays, and he performed mind-reading acts for a while. He started this like on-stage seance act, and Houdini was pretty good with it, and people fell for it, but he had this problem. Houdini was always too honest. Like I mentioned before, he gave himself away. He actually modified his seance act so the audience would know how it was done. Before it was all bells and whistles, and then he kind of switched gears, and he was like, I feel like people think this is real. And
yeah,
they did.
Because he was a big debunker. It was like him and Harry Price back in the day, right? Like they were like, look at all these fucking assholes taking your money and making money off of, you know, your sorrow and all that shit.
Yeah, which we're going to get into more of that later because that's kind of like the last leg of Houdini's life is getting all those spiritualists in their place, talking shit. Right. He's like, you're idiots. You did it wrong. So he tried to spread the word initially by showing how all the things were done that all these other seance people were doing, and people still like saw it as well, you know, that's a fun parlor trick. But I talked to my aunt Jenna3 the other day, and she said I'm still dead, Howard.
See, I mean, I would be impressed if he was like, I'm sensing someone in this room. Is it your aunt? Jenna3? Oh, it's definitely
it's a real name.
Is this her? And he pulls down his pants and his penis goes, and a picture of her just comes out of his dick.
It's just a dead ant there, but it's just a picture of it there. It's like play on the words. Could have been anyone's aunt.
That's a carpenter ant. That's a big boy.
That's a white ant. That's not one of those house boys. Those ones don't come in packs 100. This is a heavy boy. Anyway, so the seance act, he starts showing up, but people didn't catch it. So for a while he goes, I'm not doing anything seances. Fuck spiritualism. I'm out of that game. Well, I have no idea why, but Houdini and Bess found themselves on a tour, on a day off, I suppose, or an afternoon off. They find themselves visiting a mental hospital in Canada. I have no idea why. That was the only context in all 3 audiobooks I heard. It was just like they were in Canada one day and they was seeing a man. Okay, so it's true. They see this man and he's writhing in pain on the floor, but wearing a straitjacket. So Houdini, being the smooth man he is, he's like, I could do that. Or rather, I could do that. So he's like, that's going to be my new thing. I've been doing handcuffs for a while and I got all this attention from the police and people have... I have small recognition.
Why do they call it a straitjacket? Shouldn't it be like a twisty jacket?
I don't know. That's a good question. I did learn that it's not spelt S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T. Rather, it's S-T-R-A-I-T. Straight jacket. I think it's its own thing. I don't know.
I mean, it still should be called like a McTwisty jacket.
And to be honest with you, I forgot where I wrote this down. So the spelling I just gave you could be wrong, but I know it's not the other straight. I can tell you that much with confidence.
The Bering Strait.
Right. So now we got Houdini who's like up all night thinking about these fucking tablecloths that he wants to dance with. So as you would expect, audience started, they liked it, but they started thinning out because it was just him in a straitjacket. It would take like 20 minutes for him to get out. Pretty phenomenal because they're designed for people to not get out of. But the audiences do thin a little bit, especially on this
Tom.
one West Coast tour. Yes.
Tom, did you come across how he actually got out of them? Did he like dislocate his shit?
Dude, he just wriggled around. Like there's footage of how he did it, and it's exactly, there's no trick. Like the guy is just a worm.
Oh, he just fucking moves.
Now, like the handcuffs, those were lock-picking tricks. Some of them were amazing because there was like a bunch of them and his hands wouldn't move, so he'd have to do it with his feet and his mouth and shit. But
I want to see this man do the Macarena. Am I right?
Dude.
One of the most stiff and rigid dances possible, but I want to see him do it.
You know, I still don't know how to do the electric slide.
You just had to, when it says boogie, 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 just like go like boogie, 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 and then, you're good.
No, but see, this is the problem. There's a disconnect here. There's turning happening. People are sliding from one foot to the other. And you're just saying, oh, it's easy. Just do this. I can do this for the rest of the show.
Yeah, but pretend you're doing it and then just boogie, boogie, boogie.
I mean, you might have no idea what you're doing. This might be a turn of events when the two of us go to the fireman fair next month and we start doing the electric slide on the dry grass.
I'm just saying, Tom, next block party we show up, I don't need to do the electric slide because I'm going to win the pie eating contest and you're going to be over there crying into your pie.
I'm not entering the pie eating contest.
Well, you're going to be crying into a pie that's in front of you, that I'm going to put in front of you.
Great. Oh, I lost the pre-diabetic competition. I'm just crying. I don't know why, because I can't figure out the electric slide. Okay, so look, he's on tour. He's on the West Coast. Needed the police assistance to prove the authenticity, but he didn't want to abuse their services, so he went above and beyond. They didn't owe him anything at this point. This West Coast, they're like, we don't know who you are. We're not locking you up. Then he got him going. He was just like, you can do like whatever you want to me. You can suck my dick. You can put locks on my penis and I don't know, another penis thing. You can do all that too if you want to use. And they're like, all right, let's tape his mouth shut and his legs all shackled up with 10 sets of cuffs and one that tied all the cuffs together.
Do not tell a cop you can do whatever they want. Those people are egotistical maniacs.
There is no evidence that Houdini wasn't in fact who-diddled at one point, but so he gets the police to do this. They do the strip search. They do the whole fucking shebang. They lock him in the interrogation room reluctantly. Keep in mind, this particular police precinct in San Francisco is like, if he gets out of this, then I don't know. I guess we're all straight. So
yeah, I was saying, this is in San Francisco. He was definitely who-diddled.
So he's in there. He exits the locked room in under 10 minutes. And there's an audience outside that he had drummed up, and everyone's losing their mind. Now, this was quite the spectacle, as I said, since it was more than one policeman coming by and just tying him up for a bit. This was like, we got him on lockdown. We got him, okay, boys?
Wait.
He came out just like Osama.
Well, hold on. Was this done at the old San Francisco Armory by any chance?
It may have been. I don't know the exact location.
Because you know that the old San Francisco Armory is now the head office of kink.com?
I think Mike mentioned about how that's like a famous skate spot, too.
Oh, yes. He did on the show that wasn't recorded, Tom.
Right. I'm playing stupid here. I miss him. I miss him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So he's out in Minneapolis now. He's on his tour. He meets this guy named Martin Beck, who's an entertainment agent. He books him all over the big vaudeville venues in the States. Martin Beck is responsible for getting Houdini really out there in the States. So now he's all famous stateside, and that's cool. All right, rise to fame. He's able to get out of anything. You got to keep in mind, like getting out of handcuffs, that was sick back then. That was a 900.
So he's Anthony Hawking it right now?
He's Anthony Hawk, and everyone wants to show up to his Huck Jam. Now, he had this sick act, and everyone's like, this is awesome. But he had another act that he liked to do, and this one's kind of fucked up. It's called the Hindu Needle Act.
Oh, man. We're entering sounding territory. I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah, it's not good. So what he does is he swallows 40 needles, just regular ass, sewing needles. This is true. And then he slowly regurgitates them, but after swallowing a string, and as he regurgitates them, they're on the string. So he threads them while they're in his belly.
That is crazy and disgusting.
Yeah, man. Confusing, right? That guy can suck mad tiny dicks. Like 40 of those?
This is David Blaine stuff, right? Like, I mean, that's what he does. He just puts himself in an orb of water, and he's like, guess what? I'm a magician.
Yeah, David Blaine does all this weird stuff that's not even magic, like not even close. He's just like, are you guys going to eat that? And be like, we're playing pool. Of course we're not going to eat these. And then he's just like, oh, it's too bad. And then eats like a whole pool cue and doesn't pay for it. And that's
He walks out of the pool hall.
yeah, slightly uncomfortable, but like you watched him do
Yeah.
it. Like
He
he's
walks
eating
out
it
of the pool hall.
and he's staring at you and he's showing the contents of his mouth. He's like, okay, sorry. Watch me suffer.
Yeah, he walks out of the pool hall, then turns around, opens his door, and just goes like on a creek and goes, magic.
Yeah.
And then leaves.
It is weird. He went into that territory. I mean, I watched this documentary thing where he just eats glass. Like, what kind of sick man does that? And the way he does the trick is he just eats glass.
I mean, there's a great video of a man, I think it was in the Turks and Caicos, just eating sand. And
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's not so much magic as it is tradition.
yeah. Yeah.
As his popularity grew in the States, Beck, he's got him all over the States doing his thing. They booked him and Bess to do some shows in London, right? So Beck didn't do a great job promoting this visit. It's kind of hard, over the ocean. It's like 3 weeks to get there, some dumb shit. So when he shows up, he's like, why does no one know who I am? I was just famous over there. And they're like,
I mean, that's also really interesting because he has their same accent, apparently, according to the Roast Mortem cast.
well, this is true. He gets off the boat. He's like, Bess, where's all the people that I thought was going to love me in it, Bess?
Yeah. Like, go ho.
And
That's what that
Bess,
sounds like.
which I won't do her accent because we'll assume it's Chinese, and that would be racist. So she's not Chinese, but for the sake of this, she is. Right.
She's
so
South African, which is infinitely more racist than us doing a Chinese accent.
amen. Now, no one knew who he was, as I said, and the venue owner gave him a terrible time slot to work with, like the first week. So he goes, this is not going to do. I'm going to go talk to me brothers out in Scotland Yard and break out of these handcuffs they've got there, them English ones, and dazzle them local newspapers in it. So he works every time. Absolutely happen. Walks
You wanna
over to
see this
Scotland Yard. Yes.
Every time, boy.
So they lock him up. They're like, you're not going to get over British steel, you weenie.
This is Sheffield Steel, boy. Oh.
And he does. He breaks out, and everyone's like, oh my Lord, isn't it something else, isn't it? And everyone goes crazy. They're like, we'll buy tickets to that show. Right. So the guy who owns the venue goes, oh, you know those terrible time slots? Well, I'm going to give you a better time slot all this week. And how would you like to make your week-long stay a 6-month stay? So Houdini's got this salary now. He's like, yeah. He does 6 months there. Kills
Hell
it
yeah.
in London. He travels all over Europe, where it's a lot closer, to be fair. So everyone's like, I heard of you. I'm from France, and you're not far from where I live, so I've heard of you.
We don't like English, but I am from France. I love cheese and wine. Would you like to see my country?
It's got soft cheeses and grass. Do they have grass in? Are they grass people?
Yeah, I think that's one of those countries that has grass. But also, I'd love to see Houdini. I'd see a Frenchman go, Houdini, would you like to escape from this keg of wine? Do they put wine in kegs? I don't
They
know.
put in barrels, don't they?
Yeah. Well,
They-
barrel.
Right. It's a barrel. Can we lock you in here? Oui, Mr. Houdini. Come on by, and I'll feed you grapes until you're dead.
Yeah, his new name is now Houdin Cook, the master magician.
Look, I can make all these college kids' grades disappear. Dane Cook. Yeah, man. I like that. Okay, so just to illustrate how word of mouth traveled in Europe in the early 1900s.
That fucking got me.
Take your time. I need a minute. All right, I'm back. So to illustrate how amazing the word of mouth was, like around Europe at this time, Jews were not allowed to travel in Russia at all in the early 1900s. And he basically got the pass. Everyone wanted to see him do this shit. We want to see the slippery Jew, they yelled.
I mean, Lenin loved a good trick. Trotsky also did too. That's why he slipped away to Mexico and Stalin had him shivved to death in Mexico City. Escape from bear skin. You have 2 Russian vodka bottles up your anus and we escape.
Right. Now, one controversial thing that did happen in Germany, Cologne, Germany. We got a police officer there who sees him breaking out of these jails and shit. And he goes, I know how he's breaking out. Bribery. And he gets very public with that. And he starts talking to newspapers. And Houdini's like, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? So he actually sues this guy.
Really?
Yeah, for slander.
Well, I mean, we don't know. The guy might have had a point. Houdini was... I mean, you see those ladies that can make, they stick the cherry in their mouth and they tie the cherry knot.
I just assumed that all women just had a tied up cherry knot, like hidden in the back of their throat, like a cyanide pill. Like men have cyanide pills and ladies have that.
I mean, I'm sure Houdini could do that. So I'm sure he could do some little mouth magic if he wanted to really escape from a jail.
It's not impossible. Hey, give me a quick kiss before I go in, Deputy Sheriff. You're Jewish. No. You're going to want to kiss this mouth. Well, let this guy out. I just got a fresh bag of guilt.
I will show you the Jew gold in the entrance to the center of the earth.
Right. But in Germany, they had very strict laws at the time. I mean, they're German. They had these strict laws.
This is post-Nazis. Sorry. This is post-Nazis.
No, this is pre-Nazis. This is pre-Nazis.
This is pre-cum Nazis. So there's still Nazis there.
They're still Nazis. They still hate Jews. And yeah, you're going to get a quick slander if you're Jewish and you're in the region. But they have very strict laws about slander and they have strict laws about false advertisement. So the spiritualist movement never actually hit Germany because if you're caught being a fake spiritualist, you'd actually go to jail. It wasn't just like, I don't see that guy anymore.
So interestingly enough, they still do. Have you seen that documentary about the techno Viking?
Oh, no, I've heard about like some sticky shit involving him. Like he got all, what's her name? Barbara Streisand about it, right?
Yeah. So fucking, if you've seen the meme, if you haven't seen the meme, type in techno Viking. And it's this guy during the street festival and he looks like a Viking. He's doing a little rave dance. And this dude like went to court and won. And they did a whole like documentary about him, but they couldn't say his name or show his image. So they had to like get creative because like of the laws in Germany where it's like, you've slandered my name and like I've moved on since my raving Viking past.
Right. Because he has kids and he doesn't want them to know that he was once fun.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have children, you have to be boring as shit. That's something I've learned in my 30s.
Right. And it's still it was active back then. So the same stuff Travis is talking about right now. I say Travis as this, there's Mike here and he forgets our names a lot. Houdini sues this guy and the way he wins over the judge is actually by breaking into the judge's safe.
Oh shit.
He's like, I could just do whatever. Like I'm fucking Houdini. And he did it really quick. And later on, he kind of spilled the beans on this one. He said the judge actually didn't lock his safe. At all. Oh. So it was like it just worked. It was a gimme, but he could have easily gotten some handcuffs on him and showed the judge. It would have been fine.
Maybe he had the judge handcuff him and have his way.
Now Houdini's like he's pretty much top of his game right now. Everyone in America knows who this little guy is, and he goes from doing the handcuffs and the straitjackets, and he's like, I'm gonna have to do more because I feel like I'm losing. I gotta revise the act, and I gotta put myself in more danger. Also, a lot of copycats start surfacing, which we'll talk about in a bit. So to stay ahead of the copycats, he's just like, I'm just gonna, all right, instead of being just handcuffed and I have to get out of it, I'm gonna be put in handcuffs and then a burlap sack and then in a milk crate and then dropped into the ocean.
So he has like Family Guy syndrome, where like when Peter fought the chicken for the first time, that was funny. And then they just kept adding to it. You're like, okay.
Kind of, but there was a little talent behind it because you actually had to keep your cool.
Okay.
So that's the major difference.
Seth MacFarlane, a little bit more talent.
One time in Boston, he used a whale carcass that had washed up on shore to escape from. The idea was if you could put this guy in something, he would escape it. He even took on challenges from craftsmen. Any challenges that he felt he could do, he would just do it. He'd be like, you built a box? I'll do it. He broke out of like a giant football one time. It just sounds like a piñata. I'm not really sure what the challenge was on that one.
I want to see him. I want to see him cased in a giant baloney and see if he can get out of that. I don't know.
He might be able to. He might. Once he was challenged by a brewery to get out of a barrel of beer. Okay, now this would have been fine if the beer didn't create so much carbon dioxide. So he never actually considered that the little chamber of air in the top of the barrel that he would use to sustain himself would be all poisonous carbon dioxide. So he went up there and he takes a little sip of that carbon dioxide and goes, "Oh shit, I'm dying now." So after the bucket stopped moving for a bit, they cracked it open and he lived, but I think that was the first time he drank.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably a fun night for him after. I want that to happen to me. Patreon.com/RoseMortemCast. Block me in a barrel of booze.
Let's get this boy in a barrel.
Yeah. Pickle me.
London, 1904. Harry took on a challenge to escape from a set of handcuffs designed to defeat him. The London Daily Mirror threw what was probably the most boring escape event ever. Now, this one's important to talk about because this is like apparently the most famous handcuff escaping ever. Allegedly, the handcuffs took 5 years to craft, which is like suspicious already. The event was attended by over 4,000 people. It took over an hour for Houdini to break out of the cuffs, and he did it in a booth that was on stage hidden from the audience. At one point...
Bullshit. If you're hiding behind something, you can't do that.
Well, a lot of the times the escape people would do that. It was like, no one's here, no one's helping me, you know. I don't know, whatever.
I think maybe he just had a long, thin, flexible penis.
Right.
Which get into the into the lock and hit all those pins.
Well, isn't that a great reason to not show your hand or your penis?
I'm just saying, maybe you would just show your hands and they'd be like, what is that weird mystery thing that looks like an echidna's penis popping up from under the curtain?
No, see, I think the thing is you want to be behind the curtain because, like, if that start wiggling up and you get real good at it, someone's going to be like, worm! And then they're going to blast you. They're going to throw a bowling ball at you.
That's my reaction whenever I see an earthworm. I just want to stomp on it. No, I love little earthworms. They're cool. But Tom, continue. I could talk about earthworms for the next hour.
Yeah, no, I've been there. So at one point he comes out of the booth, sweaty as a pig, asking if he could be let out of the cuffs briefly to take off his jacket. The representative of the Mirror declined the request, so Houdini took out a penknife from his front pocket, put it in his mouth, and cut off his jacket. And everyone was like, ooh, ah. And then he went back inside the booth for another 35 minutes or so, and he finally comes out cuff-free, and everyone goes, oh, shit!
Damn, dog.
That's it.
So did he do that shit just so people could see his fucking abs or some shit? Like some fucking stud muffin?
Yeah, maybe. I can't write it off, that's for sure. He did have great abs. I mentioned before. He's basically mostly ab and some horseradish. So,
yeah,
Houdini... There's one thing. So, like I said, this is one of the biggest events that Houdini is known for. He did some other crazy shit after this that was filmed even. It was way more entertaining than a man hiding in a locker and getting these handcuffs off. So here's the thing. This was probably a setup.
Okay.
Like Houdini was friends with one of the guys at the Daily Mirror. And the way the challenge actually came to be was he was doing a show and a man comes up and goes, I challenge you to get out of these. And Houdini makes a big stink going, those are not regulation handcuffs. I can't do that. Yeah. So the guy starts talking smack and he's just like, oh, you can't do it. So then it becomes this big thing. Well, fine, I'll do it. Give me a week. So they do the event and Houdini does come out. There's all this speculation about like there was a key hidden somewhere. There's a part where Bess came over and kissed him, but the key for this specific, I think it was called a Brommer lock. It's like 6 inches long. It goes all the way inside of a cylinder. So it's not like a piano wire could pull this one off.
Tom, you're getting me so hard right now.
I know. So,
It's weird. You're my friend.
well, it's just the two of us now. So,
Oh, yeah, I know. This is the best
gotta-
time to do it.
yeah, that's right. When no one's listening. Now,
No one at all.
not a single person. Put a little reverb on that. So there was another couple reasons why it was weird. Firstly, they advertised that like it was 5 years to make these cuffs. And apparently Houdini was the one who popularized the whole handcuff thing. And yeah, there was a lot of copycats, but this is in 1904, and he hadn't been over in England up until 1901. So there's no way that anyone in England would start making handcuffs to defeat him 2 years prior. And on top of which, they have to stamp any precious metal. So they gave him replica handcuffs of those same cuffs that were made out of silver. Now, when you're in England and you're working with precious metals, you have to stamp it. And the stamp for this replica predated the event by like a whole year.
This is King George's official stamp. It's a tiny anteater. He loves anteaters. He claps all day. He has 7 of them that hang out in Hyde Park.
When I first watched that Chris Angel stunt where he was able to get out of a cage or put himself in a cage using a Monster Energy car, I don't remember all the details, but what I do remember is there was lots of fancy editing happening.
Shut your fucking goddamn mouth. There was no fancy editing. I was there.
You were the editor. No, but my problem was that I know it's real. I know it was real.
Yeah,
and if they didn't edit,
I saw Christopher Angel chug 7 Monster Energy drinks, and he shot that car right into that box.
Right. Which was way more exciting than the event that I just described of Houdini's, where a man goes into a curtained off room, and I forgot to mention there was a band playing. Tense music so it's like an hour 15 minutes of people just being like, oh man, I hope he gets out of there, and a bunch of press people being like, hey, you better not get out of there, I want to talk shit about him.
Like, imagine going to that show, like, you know, whenever you go to a show, right, you got to secure your spot in the crowd, right? Like, you got to get there early, or like you have to during intermission like work your way towards the front,
right? Like,
it's just an hour of like nothing. So what is this, hitting the bar? I mean, the owners of this venue must have loved it. Oh, it's my Scrumpy Jack. I'm selling so many of them Scrumpy Jacks right now. Houdini, please come back to my establishment.
Now, Houdini wasn't crazy about his lack of education, okay? He felt the need to flex how smart he was. He knew how to read and write, and he would tell people. In fact, he brought a massive typewriter everywhere he went, as his handwriting was miserable. Now, he also began amassing a giant collection of books for his New York brownstone that he bought. On top of collecting, he began writing books about magic and escapism. Not escapism, escapists. It's not escapism is like Star Wars. This is escapistism.
Yeah, that's like when I play the Fallout.
Yeah, when you're trying to zone out, you want to watch Gordon Ramsay yell at a 16-year-old. That's escapism. When you want to watch someone break out of a beer barrel, that's escapistism.
Yes.
Now, one book he wrote, it was called The Right Way to Do Wrong, an expose of successful criminals. And it's just that. In fact, I want to read this book. I haven't gotten to it yet. It's a guide on how to not get conned by charlatans.
Hey,
but it really served as like how to be a con or a charlatan.
I was just going to say that, Tom. If you write something about how not to con someone, how to not to get conned, the con artists are just going to read what you wrote.
Right. Look, I think it's pretty funny because I truly believe that Houdini had a lot of faith in people, and he thought that they would not do that. They'd only use it to be able to spot pickpockets and provide justice to their fellow men.
Well, right. That's the same reasoning that whoever wrote the Anarchist Cookbook was like, people are going to buy this book if they ever need to rebel against the tyranny of the government. And then you get the Columbine kids reading.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there's a nail bomb in the middle of driver's ed. She's like, yeah, that's really rebelling against the goddamn tyrannical government. Of course, as I mentioned, he bought that brownstone, and his mother lived there as well, staying around this giant book. When I said this library, I mentioned this library. It's actually it is the largest collection of magic and occultist books for the time. I believe David Copperfield bought the collection. He owns a lot of Houdini stuff. I thought
He
that
made
was a
the
book,
Statue of Liberty disappear, dude.
and we all believe him
Yeah.
because we should.
Also, here's a recommendation. You have Shudder, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if it's on there. This is a great horror movie, so maybe this isn't even a promotion for Shudder. But check out The Ninth Gate with John Depp.
I don't know that one.
So
Not-
John Depp in a Roman Polanski movie, and he's like an occult book collector. It's one of my favorite movies. If you haven't seen Ninth Gate, check it out.
I haven't seen that. No, I've seen the one where he eats corn at the end and gets beaten up by his girlfriend.
No,
Or that's just TV, right?
the end of that. Spoilers. The end of the movie, he just bangs a broad.
How long?
It's hot. It's John Depp, and he has a goatee.
I'll see you there, man. I'll see you on Shudder looking for a movie that's probably
Maybe,
not on
if
there.
it's on Shudder. I don't know.
It's probably not. It's probably not. It's pretty, it's good, but limiting.
It's also Roman Polanski, and he raped people.
Well, he raped person. Okay, be careful.
Alleged.
Oh no,
No.
there's a reason he's in
Yeah.
Poland or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, I don't want to go where they persecute for that stuff. I'll just live in France where love is a concept. Now, where the hell was I? So he's got all his books, yada yada yada. Books. Who cares about books? He had a thing for death. He was a teenager at heart. We could all figure that out. That's just
You
As
want
you
to bang
guessed
in the
it-
cemetery?
Yeah, I was gonna get coffee and pour it on my. I was gonna get sad.
I was gonna say the best date. All right, baby. Let me take you on a great date. First, we're going to Auntie Anne's. You can get that. Trust me, girl. You can get that large pretzels with cinnamon on them. Then we gonna go to Spencer's. You get one hat, and then we go on a Hot Topic. You can get one Rick and Morty shirt.
Damn, dude.
I know,
You-
right? I
you
know how
gotta
to lay
treat
it
a
on
woman.
thick, dude.
Are you saying this like all while you're painting your nails too? You're kind of looking down, like
Well, I'm not
could give
actually
you a
looking at the
manicure.
girl.
That's what I'm saying. You're looking down at your nails that you're doing, and
Yeah.
you won't make eye contact. It's fun.
Yeah.
As you guessed it, Houdini was very rich at this point. He got the books, he got the fame, he's got the Harlem Brownstone. He gets a little into the Liberace territory with the self-iconization, if you know what I'm talking about. If you listen to the Liberace episode, you'd understand that he just made everything, including his boyfriends, look like him.
Yeah, I would say, did Houdini fuck himself? What are we talking about?
No, he didn't do that. I mean, Bess is not that pretty of a woman, and he's not that pretty of a man. They're really made for each other. I mean this in the self-absorbing, like all over the house was tile that had his initials, like HH everywhere you looked. I'm pretty sure the soap that he got in said HH on it. Just way
Tom,
too much of his own name.
over under on serial killerness if you have a mirror above your bed.
Way under.
Way under. Way under.
Yeah. Way
So,
under.
like, not a serial killer at all.
What are the chances? Truly, I think that's just a love-making person.
I mean, so do you think Houdini had a mirror above his bed while he was railing Bess?
No, probably not.
Oh, okay.
Because then she might see some of his tricks. You know, he actually brought the box curtain into bed. But let me follow up with this. If you have a mirror on your floor, you're a serial killer. That's if you see mirrors on the floor, I'm not talking table and have a few bumps of nose beers if they but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just take your shoes off, darling. What's the mirror?
Well, I'm
Smudges
just saying, I mean, this is a very early in the 20th century. Houdini probably busted out some moves that you could find on adamandeve.com as twisty, shitty, vibrating shit.
He was twisty. You're definitely right. Like,
Yeah.
great point. So anyway, like that's really the self-indulgence thing. He really wasn't that crazy into it. It was the amount of just like, I don't think he had a lot of self-portraits made or anything like that. He didn't feel royal, but he felt important. Most of the time he was home, he was practicing or studying. This guy, he didn't really take a day off. He had that immigrant drive, you know, that admirable immigrant drive that built this country with two or sometimes one hand.
They also made excellent Americanized food. The Chinese, they made the railroads.
They did it. They got us from here to there, and we thank them for their service.
I thank you for General Tso's.
I can't wait to have to learn Mandarin in like 16 months.
Well, yeah, Biden state mandated. You have to learn Cantonese and Mandarin.
You have to like Transformers.
Yeah.
Very sick. Now Harry, he used to just take like ice baths, and it wasn't a thing to relax himself or like do a sports. You know, how sports people do the ice baths. He would
I
just
do
do
ice
it.
baths.
Do you?
Yeah. I love
What
it.
is that like? You're ready for it.
Like, I haven't done it in a while because, like, my bathtubs are really small right now, and I'm a big man.
Right.
But you just sit in the bath, and then you get like you go to 7-Eleven, and you get like a bag of ice, and you just throw that shit in there, and like your body just like and you just, I mean, it's close to coming, except your penis is very small, and you're not anywhere close to ejaculating.
Yeah, it looks like you just poked a snail in the eye, and it's like.
No, I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty much dead from my follicles down.
All right. So he takes.
Dude,
his
would
ice
you want to go to
baths.
Spencer's with me?
You know it,
Like-
man. I'll meet you over
I'm
there,
like
dude.
dead, dude.
I'll paint your nails if you pay mine.
Pretty dark. You know they sell like a necklace with like penis candies around it?
Yeah, like, could you imagine like an adult getting really into that stuff, but later, like a 45-year-old being like, this is kind of my look. I really
my
get
look.
this. Imagine
Oh,
having
yeah.
kids and you come home and you're just like, Dad, your pants are pinstriped. It's kind of my look now, son.
Son, why so serious? Really?
Yeah, good. Right. Okay, where the hell are we? Right, so he's holding his breath under this ice water all the time because he's trying to get extreme. He's trying to Wim Hof, okay? So Harry is upset that Bess and him hadn't been able to conceive of a child. One theory is that Houdini was sterile due to messing around with an X-ray machine too much with his brother. I don't know. One of his brothers just got an X-ray machine. They're just like, oh, you want to see what your balls look like?
So that we already talked about this. This was on the Tesla episode where Mark Twain and fucking Tesla were like, "Got X-ray machine. Let's fucking see what a penis inside of a penis looks like. Is it really a bone?"
This is like what you deserve, though, because like it's a form of masturbating, like in public, just constantly taking photos of yourself. The way, it would be nice if TikTok should give off a little radiation, so
Yeah.
you can use it a few hundred times. Beyond that, if that's where you're living your life, maybe face cancer isn't the worst thing for you.
I think, Tom, you're onto something. TikTok, please shoot some X-rays into these people that are making videos of themselves making expressions and calling themselves actors.
I'm not trying to have these kids shot on go one.
No,
But
just
I'm
a
saying-
slow death, a slow one.
I'm saying if there's like 10 posts a day,
Yeah.
maybe a summer of chemo will put you in your place.
Called perspective, but also to give those men credit, Mark Twain, Houdini, and Tesla, and his brother, and whoever. If we had a magic machine that'd be like, "Hey, man, you want to see what's going on inside my body?" and we didn't know anything about radiation, how many times would we be zapping each other?
Travis, we're the same age, and we would have both been dead like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
We're not even that old. Like,
Yeah.
but we would have. You're right.
Oh, we
You're
would have been
right.
dead,
You're right.
dude. We would have been. I would have had a boobon growing out of my left sack 8 times over.
I guess who are we kidding? Who are we kidding? It is
Yeah.
actually pretty cool. I probably would have been sterile. Thank God I'm not. I have one ball working. Another thing that upset Houdini was these rip-off acts. I mentioned them before. They were coming out of the woodwork. Loads of people started doing similar acts and even touring on them. One act that drove him mad was the Davenport brothers. Now, they did lots of the same style, like escape acts, like getting out of trunks and shit like that, but their spin on it, and why Houdini hated it so much, was that they were saying that they were getting released by spirits. The spirits were doing all the work. So Houdini is just like, no, you did it, and we know you did it.
That's just like the Ghost Hunters. Because whenever you watch the Ghost Hunters, it starts out and they're in their regular old Rotor-Rooter van, right? They're plumbers. And
Right.
they show up to the house. And they're like, "We're going to find ghosts." Like, no, dude. You're going to find turds. You're a plumber. Like, you're a plumber. You just clear my pipe.
Wait, Travis, what was that noise?
Yeah, what was that?
Are you
kidding me?
I really do like those shows.
What was was that? Did you fucking believe it?
Did you, with the beep and everything? Did you hear that?
Tom, did you fucking hear that? Tom was a man. Did you just hear him say, I pee-pee so hard?
Houdini sometimes he would attend these acts in disguise with a mustache, perhaps some Groucho Marx glasses.
Straight up Waluigi boy.
Oh, he was ready to go. It was tennis time. You know what I'm talking about? So he's out there at these spiritual acts, and he was like rich, where he was like, my competitor's doing a show across town. Get me a carriage. I'm going over there. So he would, and he'd mess up these people's acts. He would do the same fucking thing. Every time he was there, he would firstly challenge them to do something else and then call them out and just yell at the top of his lungs about how he's the real deal and all these people, fake spirits, yada, yada, yada.
I was going to call him the backwards Carlos Mencia.
Oh, fair enough. Where it's like, hey, that's my, I wrote that.
I wrote that. Just because you did keto and you lost a lot of weight doesn't make you funny. It makes you less funny. We all like you as the fat Spanish man. And he was the one that podcast god legend Joseph Rogan called out for stealing jokes.
Damn, dude. Well, we all owe something to Joe.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I think he did so much DMT that, you know, I mean, I don't think the technology for podcasts would exist without him.
I think you're right. And I just want to say rest in peace because, you know, he's really done a lot. And
yeah, I mean, he's 5'3", so please rest in peace.
All right, here's a fun activity. Imagine that Houdini looks just like Joe Rogan because they're pretty much the same height.
Yeah.
And they're both shredded and they both have thick necks.
Well, Izzy, did you see that picture of him coming out of the hot tub? He's got some man tits going on nowadays.
Maybe Houdini was titting around too. No matter how much how many of these boondogglers Harry would publicly lambast, he could never get them to go away. So he increased the risks again. One which stunt was the milk can escape. Now, he had gotten out of barrels before, but milk cans?
Dude.
You might be asking,
Mama
what's a milk can?
Mamma mia, milkers. Big old plumpers.
That's right, man. He would escape the breasts of Las Vegas women.
Of hentai
just women in
titties.
general. Yeah. No. This is this thing called a milk can. It's basically where farmers put milk, and they made an oversized one that was extremely tight, for sure.
Dude, Tom, I am so fucking hard right now. I'm thinking of so many hentais.
This is quite the can situation going on here. They'd shove this man inside this can, and he would get out of this. And a few of these copycat boys, they tried this stunt. And let me tell you, it did not go well because they died. And that's pretty funny because it was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's hilarious because also you could die in big titty anime titties if you don't know how to use them right.
Some people just peel over. They just go.
Yeah, they just
now,
die.
other times he was shackled up and thrown off a bridge and escaped a drowning death. Then he began locking himself inside shipping crates and getting all straitjacketed up and tossed in front of the water as promotion. Like
Tom,
he would do this. Yes.
Was that first act called the Drowning Pool?
Yeah, it was all about because I think that's what that song's about. I think that you just cracked a nut in my head,
dude. I know. I dig deep, dude. Illuminati confirmed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, with no further maneuver. Houdini been doing this shtick where he was like putting himself in the crates. Like I mentioned, he's really up in the stakes here, right? A lot of guys died, but it was funny, and everything I'm talking about is pretty stupid. So Houdini had been doing the shtick for a while, and his body starts to hurt because the whole straitjacket thing, as I mentioned before, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
There's no trick. You just have to beat the shit out of yourself until you come out of this thing.
You got to vibrate a lot.
Right, a lot of shaking.
Yeah,
so
at age
40, he ruptures a kidney because he usually had volunteers tie him up in the straitjacket, so people knew it was legit.
Yeah,
I think it was a bunch of young sailor men who, right after gay sex, they came up and they really pulled the chains quite tight on him, and they ruptured a kidney.
Tom, over under on sea shanties, gay or not?
Gay and a lot of fun, probably.
Joe, I'm saying it's the best.
Having a good tune like that? Why the hell not?
Tom,
I
we
think
should
that-
do bonus content where we harmonize. We used to do that when we were drunk.
We did that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
weren't good at it, but it
No.
was fun.
Yeah.
Because neither of us have. Well, here's the thing. You're very operatic within your approach.
I like Donkey Kong. This is a very operatic video game.
Right. And I sing like someone making fun of Barbara Streisand. That's how I sound.
So bonus content coming soon. We'll do a little sea shanty.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we'll
why
see what
not?
the sea, no sea can keep us apart. Right. So the once invincible boy, he starts getting stale over here, right? He's got the rupture. The doctor's like, take 3 months off. And he's just like, no, I'm not doing that. Oh, why is he in Brooklyn all of a sudden? There? Oh, there's no way I'm doing that. I've got to go up on stage that night and show these people that I can do anything.
That's very canon.
Yeah, I think he passed out that night because, his kidney was a fucking squished plum. And he had to tap out for about 10 days, but pretty much the rest of his life was an agonizing pain because of this kidney. He just never really got it treated. He could have got it removed, but he just let it be.
Let it be.
19
Let it be. Let it be.
Now, in 1915, he's not in the best condition, but he's still out there, and he performs another one of the most iconic escapes, which is the gentleman being hung upside down on a crane over New York City with easily 100,000 people watching. The video of this is in the Library of Congress. You can look it up on YouTube.
Wait, are you telling me that Lindsey Graham has watched this video and has jerked off to it?
He definitely has done the latter. I don't know if he's watched it. He may have just conceptualized it.
Okay, because this is a very in the BDSM community, suspension is a very hot and intense thing you can do.
Okay,
And I can imagine Lindsey Graham and his southern delicacy, his southern
his delicacy,
his delicacy of a body that Lindsey Graham has.
his lace voice.
His laced voice would be like, I would love to see the Harold Houdini see it upside down.
Oh yeah, call my pee.
Blood rushing to his penis.
Yeah, I call my pee disbelief. Suspensions of disbelief is what gets me off.
I call my penis the war of northern aggression because it's always shooting north.
I call my war penis the War of 1812 penis because no one remembers it.
Except for my Korean wife.
Forgot about that. She had the surgery. She's not really Korean. She's one of those fakes. She got into One Direction, and they're Asian apparently. Or no, what is it? Backstreet
Buddhist.
What is it?
They're Buddhist.
No, what are they? BTS.
BTS.
Yeah.
They have a chicken nugget brand at McDonald's.
Do they?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable what those boys have accomplished. Unbelievable.
They're right up there with the Wright brothers. But Tom, please continue.
Putting miles in. The same year, Houdini performed a buried alive escape that was an absolute failure. 6 feet down, no coffin. Houdini ended up crawling his way out almost to the finish line, and then he panicked and started screaming. Now, that one was a real ego blow. It wasn't a stop, but it was the first time he was just like, well, I was actually in danger right there. Let me do that again, but different. So, 1913, his mother does die. While he's over in Europe, I think he's in Denmark doing a date, and he cancels the rest of the shows and heads back to New York, where he was sad for a long time. We all know that. Here, how sad? Too sad. The only thing he did when it comes to leaving the house was to visit his mother's grave for the better part of 3 months. So,
did he have someone handcuff him behind the grave so he could just escape, just so he's keeping up on his abilities?
Could you imagine, that classic, Mom, not you, no. And then, as they're burying her, he jumps on the coffin and everyone's trying to get him off, but he keeps escaping. And he's just kind of painted on there.
He goes in with the grave and does the fucking Kill Bill one punch until he's out of the ground.
He actually did do a buried alive act after that failure one I mentioned, but he did use a coffin for that very reason, to give himself some space.
Oh, the one punch.
Yeah.
Did he do it with his mom, though?
Did he, with his mom in the grave?
With his mom in the coffin and with him.
All right, Cecilia, put your tights on. We're going upstairs. I don't know. It's a great question. Maybe he just brought his mom's skull around in a bag. We don't know.
Roast mortem true.
Right. So after this, he's upset. This is probably when he cheated on his wife. He wrote about suicide in his journals all the time. Basically, this is kind of what got the gears going again on the spiritualism shit that I mentioned earlier. Before, it was just like, I feel bad, that these people can't contact knowing their parents. And they're asking to see their dead parents, and they're being lied to by Mary Beth Sue over there. I don't know why he's from Brooklyn again.
Now
totally.
He is. It's all right. He's his accent's changed. And he's from Brooklyn.
Yeah,
hey, you guys, I'm going to Coney Island. I did performances in Coney Island.
You guys remember Coney Island? Me too. Where you from? You want to hang out? You guys have boyfriends?
I'm from Staten Island, just like that jackass from fucking Saturday Night Live.
Hey, it's like New York and shit. You come for the traffic, and you stay for the traffic. That's it. I'm not sure which one of these friends recommended it because he was friends with these two people. He was recommended a spiritualist by either C.S. Lewis, who's the author of the Chronicles of Narnia and the Screwtape Letters, or Sherlock Holmes biographer Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yes.
And one of these guys who he was friends with not for much longer said,
yeah, I mean, we went into the real story of Sherlock Holmes, and you should listen to that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Although Harry wanted to make contact with his beloved Cecilia mother, he was skeptical, as you should be. He agreed to do the seance with the spiritualist of recommendation. Now, when the spiritualist said to have made contact with the mother and wrote down a letter from his mother, Harry grew furious as the letter was in English, and Cecilia never spoke English. She spoke German, Romanian, just like, what's his name, Rabbi Mayer did. German, Romanian, Yiddish, Hungarian. They knew a lot of stuff. In fact, she spoke a weird mixture of them. Like when she spoke with Harry, it was not just one. So the fact that she was so far off by using a language that she never used, you're done. So
I know that this is his mother, but I feel like that's just grandmothers in general. Like my grandmother used to say, "Oyesternem," and "Bus off du Hound," which Oyesternem is, I think, Yiddish or Hungarian. I can't remember. And "Bus off du Hound" is German. But she just randomly say different languages, and she'd say "Das Vidanya" in Russian. Because why not?
Why not? I mean, that's fun. I mean, it's. I know a lot of people's grandparents who just say the N-word a lot, and it's like, come on, stop it.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. I know you're
Guys.
dying, but guys, come on, learn something from us. Yeah.
Think like a Gen Zer, guys.
Yeah, grow up. You're not gonna get much of a TikTok following with that word.
Yeah, grow up, silent generation. Speak up. Your voice matters.
Quit being so lost and stupid. Be loud and obnoxious. Okay, so he starts attending these seances in disguise, as he did with his, all these other the rip-off acts that were coming out. He would go over there to these seances, and halfway through the little spooky ordeal, he'd be like, "Screw!" and just flip a table, and you'd see something on the floor that was just like, "Hey, you're ringing the toe with your bell. I mean, the bell with your toe."
Yeah, ringing the toe with your bell.
Well, I'll never.
Ring-a-ding, ding, 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 ding.
You guys know how smooth I am.
Yeah,
just fucking up words.
Well, I'm just
day.
saying these people are the most deplorable humans. You have real estate agents, which I think are the most deplorable, like in certain states, and then psychics.
Psychics are pretty bad. I don't really like what's her name? Oh, I don't like Hillary Clinton. She's like
That's
that.
funny.
She's
I don't
bad.
like Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, he's not nice either.
Yeah.
I'm really into is Vermin Supreme. He's my favorite.
Great guy.
That's when you're looking for someone to start making sense. In 1917, when Woodrow Wilson officially entered the States into the battlegrounds of World War I, Houdini tried to enlist immediately, but he was 43, and the recruiting officers were like, whoa, wear your handcuffs. So Harry identified as an American hardcore. He actually lied about his birthplace publicly, stating that Appleton, Wisconsin was where he was born, and he claimed to have a different birthday. for some reason. I don't know. He performed a lot of gigs for the military camps out there. He went out there. He did his part. He was a original USO guy. He opted out of a lot of high paying gigs for this. And the reason I bring this up is that he's not good with money. So he's not broke, but he took a lot of the money he made and just terrible investments. Really awful investor. And he's a lavish spender. He buys a lot of tile with his name in it. So Houdini,
right? So we're dealing with a regular old modern day Scott Stapp.
Yeah, a modern day Scott Stapp. Yeah, we gotta take the Scott Stapp of yesteryear, who has certainly learned his lesson, and apply it here when it comes to how he just heard the news today.
Yeah, I mean, if you treat your money like human clay, come on.
Yeah, not every car dealership loves the song With Arms Wide Open. They're selling you a bag of ham, okay? Look through it. Houdini started a film company called Houdini Film Corp around 1920 in an attempt to capture some of his stunts. He wanted to film it once and put it out there, so he didn't have to fuck up his body anymore. Oddly enough, this never caught on as the film company did fold. Now, I think it had something to do with, like, they just don't look that cool. Like, people didn't trust what was happening on film.
Well, that and also Edison had his firm dick inserted into every camera at the time.
Well, that's true. Yeah. So he did do some film work. He was a super effects supervisor on a few films, and he acted a couple times. But he had too much of. I'm going to use this term again because it applies. He had too much of a hardworking immigrant face. And when I say that, I mean too few expressions. Like serious, I'm doing work. More serious, we have to hurry up and finish the work, and then kind of like pretend happy or like concerned. So his face just couldn't sell it. This is the silent era. No one's listening to him. They're just looking at that mug and they're going, what is he thinking right now?
If you've seen anyone from Eastern Europe, like Russia, Eastern Europe, like if you've ever hung out with them while they're drinking, you can't tell if they're drunk or not. There's no expression.
I think the part that's horrifying is you can't tell if they want to fight you or not.
Or that, or fuck you.
Yeah. Or in 1923, at the age of 49, he's elected to the Society for American Magicians. He used the vinegar of his mother's death to lead the campaign against fake mediums of America, like John Edwards. Now, no more on John Edwards. We don't need to go into that. He claimed to be open-minded about the possibilities of legit mediums, but said that every single one he encountered to date was a fraud. Okay, that checks out. He offered $2,500 reward to any medium that could prove to be legit in front of a panel of scientists, including himself, because he still wanted to be one of these science mans.
Right, this is where he hangs out with Harry Price, right?
Yeah. He kind of like forms a rift in a lot of these entertainment people, like and these big names. Like a lot of them endorse the spiritualism and a lot of them don't. So yeah, Harry Price is there with him, and then like C.S. Lewis and like Arthur Conan Doyle. That one's weird. You wouldn't think he'd be as into it because he loved the truth so much, and he pretty much only told it in his books. So it is weird.
But he also did a lot of opium.
He did. But that doesn't mean the truth isn't out there.
That just means the truth is in the Chinese man giving you the opium.
Oh, you mean Truth Low?
Yeah, Lucy Truth Low.
Oh,
we can't do that anymore.
No, we can't.
We're down.
We can. We have residual. It's fine.
Residual. It carries over. We have 2 years.
I have a list. I have a list of complaints. Okay.
Okay.
Now, you know what? Before I move on, I just want to mention this. I think I skipped over on the script. Doesn't matter. We've been rolling such a long time. He got really into like airplane stuff because this is right when the Wright brothers, shot their load in. They were in Illinois, right?
So that's a big debate because apparently I think it's is it Virginia? Like South Carolina? No, is it South?
Oh, North
South
Carolina
and Illinois both have like the state of flight or whatever.
Right.
But like I think one of them they were born in and the other one is where they did their flight. So like there's this whole confusion of like who claims like first flight.
Right. Well, I don't know. We might be able to just look it up right now, but they're
Let's
not.
just say their load shot across state lines.
What we know for sure is that they definitely stuck within American borders because I know it's a bit of a tangent, but Houdini was into it and he offered them money to take him up and do some stunt. And they were like, no, we just figured this out. We're not going to put a guy on the wing so you can dance around. It's just too early. But a few years later, he gets a French guy to build a plane for him and he has it moved to Australia where he could be the first man to take flight in Australia.
Oh, shit. Like dancing on the wing?
No, just fly an airplane in Australia. He's
Oh.
he's the Wright brother of Australia.
Oh, he's like let me have a VB in it.
Right.
Let me fucking smash that VB, dickhead.
I'm sure no one cares, especially Australians. Like we're still very much in criminal territory here.
I mean, Australia does not care.
No, and good for them.
They had a prime minister that just like went out into the ocean and just never came back.
Right.
They don't care.
Well, as I said, good for them. So he's got back to Houdini and the spiritualism. Sorry for the tangent. I want to throw that in. He teamed up with the police to raid fake mediums and testified in front of Congress against ghost fraud. He thought that the money made from these people was the dirtiest money in all of the states. The spiritualist craze did die a few years after his death, but he never actually saw it end. And one thing that he and Bess did do was they had exchanged code words before either of them had died so they can verify contact if it did happen.
Tom, I know that this is a long episode, but I do want to mention this, is that shit has not stopped. It really hasn't.
But it was a craze back then. Like now,
no, it was a craze. It still exists today. It's like palm reading. It's cold reading. Like it's people that just, even like all the fucking like. I mean, I know stupid bimbos like to fucking be like, I'm of Cancer, so that's why I fucking love to get dicked. Like,
yeah, that's always what it is. It's like I'm a Scorpion, so I need to suck dick.
Yeah, but these psychic people, they are the scum of the universe. They mooch on your emotion. I'm getting serious, dog. This is Travis, dog, serious. I fucking hate people like this.
Well, stop being too serious, though, because this is a show. It's supposed to be entertaining.
It is entertaining. I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying, like, I want to get my weenie sucked, dude. I want a Chris Angel to be like, you just came and I'm in the other room. I don't want someone to talk about my dead fucking great aunt.
Look, we're all looking for something, okay?
Yeah, I want Chris Angel to save me.
But by
I want him to wake me up inside.
Over.
No, dude, I want him to wake me up inside, and I'll be like, Chris, I can't wake up. And then Chris will be like, wake me up inside. And I'll be like, I can't wake up, Chris. And then he'll be like, save me. And I'll just like come.
Right.
Everywhere.
That's pretty cool, actually. That could be
is cool.
Sigmund Freud. No, Siegfried and Roy act.
Siegfried
I
and Roy
just pulled a mic there. I forgot. I made one man into two men. Anyway, he's back in the performing game for a while because it does kind of burn you out. So he's doing a little touring and talking. One thing that he's known for is this thing he invented called the Chinese water torture escape. That was the most deaf thing, but like way more dangerous.
That's hard.
This is 1920. I think he made that in like 1915 and kind of toured with it. Basically, it was a giant fish tank that he would be dunked into while all locked up in these chains, and he'd be dunked into upside down. He had about 3 minutes to get out, and he would do it, and it was cool. And people were like, "That's neat."
That's cool. He should have added leeches into it too. That'd be cooler.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe a little honey mustard.
Yeah.
Now, Travis just asked me how he died, and let's go to bed.
Yeah, how did this man die? How did I go to sleep?
All right, Travis, how did you go to sleep? Let me tell you. When he hit the road in 1926, in late October, he broke an ankle while performing said China torture act. He arrived in Montreal bandaged up. He fixed the ankle himself, as you do. He gave a lecture on fake spiritualists in a hall in Montreal. He was in terrible pain from his kidney issue. He had no idea that he was also suffering from appendicitis.
That's a double whammy, dude. You got two of them stupid organs fucking acting up.
Yeah, so he's backstage after giving this talk, and he's trying to relax, but he's still always the showman. So I think he's talking to this newspaper, and one guy's like sketching his sick body, and some other guy walks in. Right? Where is it? His name was Jocelyn Gordon Whitehead. Right? He walks into this room and goes, "Hey, Harry, can I punch you in your fucking stomach?" Which is something that Harry used to let people do because he was just like, "I'm in such good shape, I can tense up, anyone can hit me."
Okay, so Tom, before we kill this guy, I know what's gonna happen. We already did this show.
We did this episode. That's
We
why
already
this.
did this episode.
That's why
I
we have
already
so
know what's
much
gonna
momentum.
happen.
Yeah,
But I will say this: I used to do the same thing. I used to just take body shots,
right.
nonstop.
Matt Lopez, shout out to him.
Shout out to Matt Lopez. He was the Jesus of Huntington. He lived on some llama ranch or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
But I used to take body shots. And I remember hearing that this is something Harry Houdini used to do. To tense his stomach up and he'd take a body shot from anyone. And I remember I got a punch from my cousin who was in the Marines. He was the only person. I mean, I'm like, I don't know, 16 at the time. This guy's like in Afghanistan. And he punched me and I took it and I was fine. But
were you?
But was I? Because now I have hernias. But now I have a lot of hernias. You know, It was like it was one of those punches that was like it was fine at the time, but 15 years later, my organs are falling out of my body. It was just a residual. Residual.
I'm glad you only did that for a very small amount of time.
Yeah,
because if you keep letting fucking adults hit you,
I mean, he's in his 40s. You shouldn't do that. It's irresponsible.
He shouldn't have done that. Your cousin should actually be in jail.
No, my cousin's fine. I'm saying Harry Houdini should not take body shots in his 40s. That's stupid. You need to eat Trader Joe's Gorilla O's and eat that shit every day, and you're good.
Look, Harry Houdini and your cousin belong in jail.
Okay.
I'm not taking it back. Okay. So Harry, anyway, so you got Whitehead come up here and go, "I'm gonna punch you in the stomach," and Harry's like, "Sure, you dimwit." So as Harry begins to stand up and he's getting ready for the punch, Whitehead, without any warning, just starts wailing on this already crippled guy who has like a cast on, just punching the shit out of this guy. And now Houdini plays it cool. He's like, "That was fine." And him and his crew then head to Detroit for their next show. And on the way, Houdini develops a terrible fever. In true hardworking immigrant fashion, Harry refuses to take the day off and performs that night, collapsing at the end of the show in Detroit. In Detroit, of all places to collapse on stage, they say.
Big question. Did he drink the water there?
I don't know if he had enough time because he was taken to the Grace Hospital there and died October 31st after a few days of suffering, dealing with what is peritonitis, which is organ tissue failure, and a ruptured appendix. He died at 52. So, Halloween, 1926.
Oh,
spookiest year.
Spookiest bitch.
Exactly. Let's see. There were the postmortem isn't even good on him. Anyway, a lot of people missed him, and these magicians take care of his grave now because they're cheap. Look into that. And it's Harry Houdini's for you, roast mortem style. Twice. We really worked that one over.
Tom, I think this has been a good little duo. We've done Duolingo.
I never want to talk about Harry Houdini again.
No, I mean we will though because he's been a lot of these fucking psychic scumbags Harry Houdini came out against.
Yeah, well, we might have to just stay away from those people. I don't know. No, it's fine. We're gonna run into him. He's
now
almost
we know.
He's almost a delight. That's what I've had a lot of him. He's almost a delight.
Yeah. So thanks, Tom, for bringing in Harold Hugangus. That's his name.
Yes, thank you so much for dealing with that twice, Travis. And
honestly, just as I am right now, I forgot half of it. If you go back to about an hour mark, that was all new information to me. And it will be new information when I listen back to the episode.
That's good to hear. All right, so with that, thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Shane, all that stuff. Roastmortemcast.com, patreon.com/roastmortem. Wait, patreon.com/roastmortemcast. That's the right one.
Also, again, I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, if you've made it to the end, I really want to hear if you have had a UFO encounter. Please let us know. Within the first 2 weeks of August. And Tom, what's the number for Heavy Hole?
631-837-3274.
Leave us a message. You'll be on the show, or if we get a lot of people, maybe it'll be a bonus episode. But I want to hear it because we're going to be talking UFOs soon.
I'm pretty excited. I'm beholden to my pale horse, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. So my
pale horse is my penis.
Didn't we give it another name earlier? Who cares?
I mean, it's one of the 4 horses of the apocalypse. It's probably Pestilence.
Mine's Sleepy.
Sleepy.
Or Dopey.
Sleepy. Dopey. Dopey con.
Watch out for the horses.
All right, dogs. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Hell.